Been making this little woodworking project. It's really not much woodworking to it, but you end up with pretty neat things you can make and give to people. And I've mentioned this to many of my friends, and nobody seems to start making them. So maybe this is a case where everybody's out of step except me. But anyway, I make napkin holders, and they're real easy to make. This happens to be a lighthouse. South Carolina has a lighthouse like that. And you put napkins in here, or letters, whatever. It's just a decorative little piece made of pine. And I can show you the variations of that. But it's very simple. The base is simply 3 inches by 6 inches or so. It doesn't matter. It's not critical. And then this small block of wood is 1.25 inches by about 5 inches. So this little guy here is just a block of wood. It's 3/4 stock, but it's 5 inches long and 1.25 inches wide. And that just spaces your front and back, so you can put the napkins in there. So you've got that piece, and then the back piece is made up of 1/4 inch stock, and pretty simple stuff, and it's about 5 inches wide, and however high you want to make it. This one happens to be about 5.5, and you buy this at Home Depot or Lowe's or any place like that. It's just sheets of 1/4 inch stock, and it doesn't cost much. So now you've made 2 little pieces of wood, one like this, one a little smaller, and now you make the back. Now the front can become any shape you want, and that's where the uniqueness comes in. Since I've made a lot of these, I keep my masters when I make another one. And you can also, oh, here it is. You can also stain the parts. You don't have to paint them, and they turn out pretty nice. I've done Model A's with that, and I've done the Model A coupe sitting on top. And that's cute. I have a friend had a Phaeton, and I did a Phaeton for him. You can see that. And these 2 members simply screw onto the base. So you have the basic foundation and the back, and then you put on the front anything you want and decorate it however you want. Then I started printing out pictures of things, a 55 Chevy, a 55 Buick, a person, whatever picture. Oh, I did a Auburn Tigers logo. You can do any college logos, anything you can get on your computer and print it in color. You cut it out, you can paste it on this. Now this one, I've gone away from the pasting of photographs on here. This is the, you can see the thickness of it. This is the actual logo that the Cleveland Indians wear, or used to wear on their sleeves. And that's the Wahoo emblem. And that makes it pretty cute. Now for the front of that, I simply put this tall piece in here to take care of the feathers, and you shape this with whatever. When I put a car on here, I outline the car and then glue it on. So, and I gave them all away, so I don't have one. But they're really easy. Anything you can print on a computer, you can print out, trim it, put a piece of wood, trim the wood to agree with the picture, whatever it might look like, and then give it and paint it. I paint it and I assemble it with little tiny gold screws, wood screws, and the bottom you can figure out how you attach the small board to the big board. I just counter drill some holes and put screws into it, and you can eyeball it. Oh, the other thing is, on the edges, you need to make that a pretty edge, and you could go to the extreme of using a router, but I just sand it round. I do have a belt sander behind me, but you could do this with simply a piece of sandpaper on a table. Put the sandpaper down and sand it that way. And you just want to get all the edges round. And on this part here, I do round that just to, you don't want any sharp edges. Now you can make this. You don't need, I have a bandsaw that I cut these patterns out with, but you can use this simple little cheap coping saw, and however you can cut these blocks, and you can be off and running. You can expand this, and here's a key holder I made. It's the same lighthouse, only made bigger, and I do use red tape, and looks like this is painted white. Yes, I painted the whole thing white and then put the red tape in, put little dowels in, and hang it on the wall. This has not been used. I haven't given it to anybody, but you can hang that on the wall and hang your keys there or anything else you want to hang there. And but it's an easy project, and it's fun to make, and they turn out just beautifully. I two-tone this one with the red in the back, and if somebody, these are from my family in Cleveland, and but you can make any logo you want. I would recommend getting the patches, because if you print a logo out or an image out on your computer, there's no ultraviolet protection, so if you get it in the sun it will fade, and you'll have to either do it again or and you just have to do it again. So I encourage you to play with this. It's very easy. I don't have a video on how to make it, but it's not much. You cut a couple of blocks out of anything you have, sand the edges, make you a back out of that 1/4 inch stock, and then be creative on this part. Whatever turns you on. It's a fun project, and I encourage you to play with it. I'll include some photographs of parts I've made in the past that I don't have here now, and you can see the kind of stuff you can make.